A'ja Wilson is having the most dominant WNBA season of all time. She's on the verge of winning her third MVP and her third consecutive Defensive Player of the Year award. She's dominating the sport and her greatness needs to be appreciated. Hopefully by the end of this video, I would have properly given A'ja her flowers. Here's everything you need to know about A'ja's historic season, and let's get into it. When you're watching A'ja knock down these threes, keep in mind that this was a player that shot a total of 2 threes in her first 4 years. That's it. But she's a lot more comfortable shooting now. She still doesn't take a lot, but she averages a shot and a half beyond the arc, which most fans would have never guessed after watching her early in her career. And also, there's not a lot of bigs getting flare screens to shoot threes. Her shooting is more prevalent in the mid-range, and that's where A'ja shines. Hand in her face and it doesn't matter. I would say it's the foundation of her face-up game. She has such a quick release, and you could see here that she's able to use her pivot foot well. Defenders can't block her shot, and if she thinks that they may have a chance to block it, she'll fade away and then hit the jumper. Here she fakes the dribble handoff, drives to the basket, she sees the help is coming, and now she could make the pass in the corner, but why would you do that when you could just rise up and hit this short jumper? One theme I want you to take away from watching this is that Becky Hammon knows how to put A'ja in the best positions to get buckets. Here A'ja gets a weak side pin down screen set for her, which allows her to go downhill and take the mid-range shot. The bigs guarding her struggle fighting through these pin down screens. Her shot is able to set up her drives. She is too big, too fast, too strong, and too skilled at finishing at the basket. She'll use shot fakes and fake the dribble to get her defender off balanced just enough to create herself a driving lane. Here Breanna Stewart knows what everyone else knows. A'ja wants to go left. But A'ja just rips the ball through to start her drive, and there's nothing that Stewart can do. She is just too fast for any big in the league. And she's even too fast for guards. As you can see, Skylar Diggins closed out too close to her and then couldn't recover. Let's look at another example of Becky Hammon putting A'ja in a good position. This Horns elbow play that Aces run is great because it gets Wilson's defender screened, and now she has a lot more momentum when driving to the basket. One of A'ja's signature moves is her spin move. She likes to drive right and then spin back left. It's so quick and so smooth. One of the best ways Coach Hammon sets up A'ja to drive to the basket is with dribble handoffs. And I don't mean she's the one giving the ball up to someone else. A'ja is the one accepting the ball from the dribble handoff. And I can't think of many players who can be on both ends of the dribble handoff as effective as her. Again, it allows her to go to the basket with so much momentum, and there's no stopping her. When she's the one setting up the dribble handoff, she'll even fake the handoff to get her defender confused and then drive to the basket. We talked about how A'ja is a good shooter and a great driver. Well, it turns out when you're pretty good at those two things, it makes you a pretty decent pick and roll player to say the least. When the defense plays in drop coverage, it allows her to get an open mid-range shot. She's great at rolling to the basket because A'ja has such a good catch radius for the guard to make the pass. And she also has a variety of moves to finish in the post. Becky Hammon likes to have her guards set screens, and major shout out to Kelsey Plum. She'll give her body up to make a great screen every single time. Here she sets a back screen in the Spain pick and roll, and it gives A'ja an easy basket at the rim. Hammon has other set plays that get A'ja easy baskets. Here the Aces are tied in a critical point in the game. Kelsey sets a back screen for A'ja to make a 45 cut to the basket, and it's an easy layup. And once again, Kelsey Plum sets a screen, this time a flex screen, for A'ja to get the easy layup. Here the Aces set a stagger flex screen for Wilson, and it's another easy layup. We've talked a lot about what A'ja does well, but we haven't talked about where A'ja is most dominant, in the post. Her footwork is just so fundamentally sound. Here she uses a little shimmy move and goes to her reliable left hook shot. And here she uses a pump fake and then a beautiful step through for the layup. Her bread and butter move though is her turnaround jumper shot. She'll give a little shimmy sometimes and then fade away on her turnaround jumper. It's simply unguardable. It's one of the hardest shots to master, and she clearly has. And her footwork when taking the shot is just so pure. It's really just a thing of beauty. Lastly, let's talk about her defense. Let's not forget that she's the back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year. She can move her feet really well, and if she makes a gamble like this, she's still able to recover back to block the shot. The aces play Wilson in drop coverage, but here she switches onto Sabrina and she's able to stick with her for the rest of the possession until there's an illegal screen set. In the interior, Asia's a menace. She's averaging 2.7 blocks per game and she affects so many shots at the basket. She stays vertical and she doesn't foul very much. With Becky Hammon's brilliant coaching and Asia's ability to execute at the highest level, we're witnessing something special, something historic. One thing we often do as sports fans, and it's just part of human nature, is appreciate athletes more after they're done playing. But sometimes we forget to appreciate what's happening right in front of us. A'ja Wilson is making history in front of us right now, and it's important we recognize and celebrate her greatness in the moment, not just in hindsight. And if you're a fan of witnessing history in the making, check out my video on Caitlin Clark's incredible rookie season. I appreciate everyone watching. Much love. Peace.